Some years ago, I had the pleasure of speaking to some 100 nurses in Cincinnati in the United States. At a point, I showed them a slide on the screen, and all the nurses stood up and started applauding. Now, what is so great about Americans, because we're very tough at them sometimes, but what's great is they actually allow themselves to be enthusiastic and to be caught up by the moment, even before they know whether or not they get anything out of it. So they actually create that move and say, wow, this could actually give me something. I wonder what it is. So just a little side effect here. Let's learn from that and say, let's be positive and say, this will probably give me something. So I'll give it a chance. Now, what was it that I actually showed the nurses? Well, two very important words: drop deadlines. Now, drop deadlines, you might sit and think, how should I drop deadlines? What then? Now, I'm not telling you just not to adhere to any timelines or anything like that. Just take your watch off and see how it goes. But what I am telling you is that, of course, you should keep your appointments. This is how you structure your world. But what I'm telling you is, look at the actual word, deadlines. Now, think about the actual meaning of deadlines. It's not a very positive word, is it? I will give you a deadline. That is not very motivating. For most people, a deadline is not motivating in a positive sense. Because a deadline, as soon as you actually set that deadline, it starts to move the wrong way closer. And it doesn't matter how hard you actually work, the deadline will keep on coming closer. Of course it will. It makes sense. Time is passing. But the whole focus is you wish to avoid. You need to do a lot of work. You need to work very hard to avoid the deadline. So you need to be finished before. Now, my tip to you is drop the deadlines and start crossing some finish lines instead. Now, why am I saying that? Because when you cross a finish line, you actually wish to celebrate that. You cross the finish line when you're moving. You're moving towards something. And you are victorious. When you cross a finish line, you succeeded with something and you wish to celebrate. And the sweetness of victory is actually nourishment for another success. You know that when you succeed, you feel great. And when you use that energy to put it forward to the next step or the next goal, you'll feel much better. So when you have avoided the deadline, it's like, whoa, we made it. I avoided the deadline. Now what? You need to restart yourself all over again. So it's a matter of attitude. It's just words, yes it is, and they actually will work. If you start crossing finish lines, you will actually feel that you're getting more energy. You feel more positive, and you look at the outcome, you look at the gain, you look at the interest in actually working towards that deadline. And you can cross it, as I said, moving, and you can actually celebrate it. What a lot of people actually find out is they actually end up delivering whatever it is faster, sooner, maybe even better quality, because they actually focus on the finish line. Because when you cross the finish line, you succeed, and you actually look at the product of your process. When you if you actually try to avoid a deadline, you're not that much focusing on the actual outcome, the actual quality of the product, maybe, because you're so focused on actually avoiding instead of crossing a finish line, working towards something you wish to celebrate. So my little tip to you is drop all your deadlines and start working towards crossing a lot of finish lines with a lot of positive outcome for you. Thank you very much.